SGCBL news for December 15th, 2031. Looks like the free agent battle got started really quick this time. The number one prospect on the free agent list was Burto Whistler, the former ace for the Misty Mountain Hops, and he got swallowed up really fast. Minas Tirith signed him to a 7-year deal for an average of $22.1 million a year. His contract actually, if we look at it, starts out 14.6 for this year, but by the time it gets done, he's got $25.2 million a year. And if we look at the financial page, I think we're going to see that that's going to make him the most highly paid player in the league. Because right now, Joshua Moneybags makes $24.95, and his contract, which was signed last year, is $24.95 all the way through. So by the time Whistler gets a few years in, he's going to be making more per year than any other player in the league. Whether he's going to be worth that or not remains to be seen. So far, Whistler has only won 20 games once. Of course, winning games depends on your team, but Misty Mountain has been in the playoffs every year forever. He hasn't been exactly on a bad team, so it remains to be seen how he's going to do with Minas Tirith. That puts Minas Tirith, if we look at their pitching rotation, that gives them a pretty good rotation, at least the top three, with Iron Fist, Whistler, and No Tooth. Iron Fist won 17 games last year, and he's only 23. He's only going to get better. Whistler is still young. He's still 29. He's right at his peak, so he's not going anywhere. No Tooth is 30. Again, he's probably going to be fine for this year as well, and if they can find themselves a fourth and a fifth starter, then they're going to look pretty good. They've already got a pretty good closer, although he's getting up there in age, 32, Rice Bulb. If we looked at what else happened in the offseason, there was a bunch of signings, actually. Starting with Whistler, there was also Freodriel Rembor, who was also picked up by Minas Tirith. Rembor is old, he's 37. Pitched a couple of games for Isengard last year, mostly was in the minor leagues the last couple of years, so he's probably not going to be anything amazing, but he can fill in the outfield at least, and he's a 3-time All-Star. Also, Bree picked up Bellamere, which is one of the best hitting catchers that was out there in the free agent market. He was with Minas Tirith for the last few years. The problem with Bellamere, of course, is he can't catch. He can't field his position. So he's probably headed for the DH role. We also had Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith was really active. They picked up Oscar Geralder. Again, he's 35. Nothing super great. First baseman. Daggerlad grabbed Vranek Face Stomper, Old Blue Eyes. He's pitched for lots of different teams. Last year he was with Grey Havens, and he's a pretty good infielder. He's best at first base, but he can field all the way around. He's listed right now as a shortstop, but I doubt that Grey Havens is going to use him for a shortstop. Oarbreaker, Gloasil Oarbreaker. He's been toiling away with Buckleberry. He was really good with Buckleberry for a number of years, but for some reason, the Fairies put him down in the minors in 2030, and he's pretty much been stuck there for the last couple of years. So he's a pretty decent outfielder and not a terrible hitter. He's doing really great in AAA, but he's just not had a chance in the majors for the last few years, so he's going to get his chance out in the outfield with the Greyhaven Stars. Greyhaven's also picked up a starting pitcher, 28-year-old Golomir Aldar. Nothing super great, but someone that they need in their staff because Greyhaven's pitching staff is terrible. And then Moria grabbed Glodunter Cavern Splitter to try to shore up their outfield. He was with Dulguldur last year. His big problem, notice right here, 222 strikeouts. Great outfielder. He's a really amazing right fielder, but he's got to get those strikeouts under control. He's definitely got power, though. 35 homers, 99 RBIs. You might take the strikeouts if he can produce like that. There's still a lot of people out there, though. If we look at the off-season summary by team, Minas Tirith obviously is at the top of, based on WAR gained. They're at the top of the list because they've been the most active. Moria and Bree to follow. But it's really early, so there's definitely more to come there. What else did we have happen this week? We also had, let's see. We also had a manager signed. Minas Tirith signed a manager as well. So they grabbed Hob Hilldweller, who was the Numenor Kings manager forever. He got him to the playoffs in 2030, but not so much this year, so Numenor let him go and Minas Tirith picked him up. I think Numenor actually promoted a single A manager to their front office. Their manager is Gorbadoc Buckland, who, was the single A manager for the Hyrestorny Sheep since 2014, and the Hyrestorny Sheep are the Numenor single A affiliate, so he's been toiling away in their lower minor leagues for a long time. Kind of a curious move for Numenor. I think there was some other management type signings as well. I thought there was. Oh yeah, Bree signed a hitting coach. Bree signed Nanis Greenleaf, who was the Misty Mountain bench coach for the last couple of years. He was hitting coach for Misty Mountain before that. So he's the new hitting coach for the Bree Cheese. There was a lot of other activity that happened in the news this week. Actually, a ton of stuff that happened off the field, including, let's see, Brutus Trollbasher, not too happy with the reviews of his movie that he tried to star in. He had a supporting role in a film called The Balrog's Lament, where he played Gandalf the Grey, and critics didn't like that very much. Really bad news for Dal Guldur, as Arwaldin Erlinde, the 35-year-old pitcher for the Dragons, fell down the stairs at his home, dislocated his shoulder. He's got bruised ribs. He's got a lacerated finger. He's going to be on the shelf until spring training time, at least, and hopefully it isn't going to hurt him when he comes back. He's kind of old, but he's been a decent pitcher. He won 15 games for the Dragons last year, so I'm sure Dal Guldur is hoping that that doesn't affect him for the season. Eisenbrus Trample, the Carrick Bears catcher, filed for bankruptcy. He had a $5.5 million loss on his restaurant chain. So he wound up filing for bankruptcy this week. And I think that's pretty much it. So, not to belabor the point, we're just going to close this off, and we'll see you in another simulated week. Bye.